Hi y'all, good morning. I'm in a great mood, but when am I not? Welcome back to my channel, guys. Psych, it's Janae. My name is Janae. I'm gonna spend this video talking to you about how I manage stress as a single mom who is in grad school, okay? And we're gonna do makeup because I am about to go to a wine vineyard for my best friend's birthday. So excited. And I don't want to digress too much, but I do want to mention how I love being around people who love me and cherish me and are generous, because I opted out going to this event because, as I mentioned to you guys before, I'm really trying to just stay in the house this semester and really focus on Parker's development. And on top of that, the main variable here is spending money. I don't want to spend money because I'm a student, I'm not working, so I don't want to spend it on things that I just really don't want to do. But once she said wine vineyard, I was like, hold up now. But anyway, I told her like I couldn't go initially, and then her sister called me and was like, I'll pay for you. And I was like, she's like, she really wants you there. So I even love the fact, my best friend even called me like, I really want you there, like I'll cover the transportation, I really want you there, like I love you so much, you deserve this, I want your energy, blah blah blah. I just felt so loved, and I just wanted to take some time out to say that. But anyway, back to managing stress. I first want to define stress for myself, how I see it, what it means to me, so that you can then understand how I manage it and why I manage it the way I do. Stress to me, simply put, is one trying to control things that they cannot control. Okay, I think stress encompasses a lot of self-awareness, accountability, capacity, things like that. And when I think about stress, I only see stress as something that I am really trying to have a handle over, like situations I'm trying to have a handle over that's gotten out of control, and I'm really trying to battle that control, like who has the upper hand in it. So to give you an example, if I'm working and I'm dealing with a situation where the person I'm working with, we're probably working on a project, we're collaborating, and they are not responding to me in a timely manner, they are not communicating with me their needs, I then may feel stressed because they are not working with me in a way that I will find convenient and comfortable for me. However, how they work with me is outside of my control. Why would I put that stress on myself? I can meet them where they're at. We're at work. They have responsibility the way I have responsibility. And I can meet them where they're at, and that's all I can do, and then I will let it go. Over the years, I've learned, especially since I became a mom, I started leaving things up with God. My faith has grown, my relationship with God has grown tremendously since I've become a mom, and I realized that my faith cannot waver in that relationship. It's just like any physical relationship. You cannot trust in the person that you are with if every time you feel like you're being challenged or anything is being compromised, you then see that person as someone who you cannot rely on. Same thing with faith. Whenever I am feeling any type of hardship, challenge, or any threat to what I consider control, I cannot then question God as to how or when he will show up. I gotta release that level of control. 1 second, because Parker is just... Klein, what you want? Mommy's recording something. Okay, sorry about that. Had to be a mom, but I prepped myself for that. Again, self-awareness. So I was talking about making sure that you do not waver in your faith, but having faith and increasing my faith over the years has helped me tremendously. It helped me learn to let go of things that obviously I cannot control. That helps me manage stress. Now, as a mom of a child with special needs, how do I manage stress in that sense? I have to be honest with you guys. Well, I'm always gonna be honest with you guys, but I had to be very conscious of how I speak to myself, being a mom of a person with special needs, okay? I am in a Facebook group, moms of autistic children, and from what I read, I can just see how the mothers speak to themselves. And just speaking to yourselves in that way, in a certain way, will automatically stress you out, okay? When you start seeing the child with special needs as an issue and problem and inconvenience, I'm not saying that that does not mean it is not true when it comes to how it makes you feel. If you feel like, I sometimes feel like being a mother to my son can feel very inconvenient. That is not the truth though. It is just a feeling, and feelings do pass. So there's a lot of mental work, but you really have to be mindful of the things you tell yourself and how you talk to yourself as a mother in general, but especially as a mother of a child with special needs, because it is a challenge. It's a greater challenge, for real. It is not something that everyone will be able to relate to. So when you are finding peers like other mothers that you become friends with, and they're discussing things, like for me, they may be discussing how their child can have these full-on conversations with them, or they may just be discussing how, oh, the day was so hard because so-and-so couldn't wake up on time, or because they said they rather cookies than some mothers out here can't even get their child to eat. You know, so it's just really learning to give yourself grace, and to also, for me, when it comes to managing stress, I am very delusional. I opt in on seeing and analyzing all of the good things of a situation before I even entertain anything bad about it. A lot of work. It takes a lot of work to get there, to train your mind to really isolate what you're looking at and take and extract the good from it and leave the bad where it's at. Takes a lot of work. But I don't care if I am going to toot my own horn. I've excelled in it. I've excelled in it. And I think part of how I excelled in it is through faith, because, and just really seeing how other people live. But I'm gonna tell you right now, a lot of the stress that you deal with is mostly mental. You have to be cognizant of how you speak to yourself, what you pay attention to, what you digest, what you believe. Again, feelings are not true. What are you believing is to be true? Because your belief, thoughts become feelings, feelings become beliefs, obviously, and that all becomes behavior. The stress part. So just be mindful of that. Be mindful of how you speak to yourself. Now, when we're talking about self-awareness and being a mom, I know I'm a single mom. I've been a single mom since my son has been 7 months. I had to be honest with myself and tell myself, like, let's be real, this will feel like a lonely road. Validating my feelings there, right? But I'm not believing that it's a lonely road, because I know that I can make community. I know that my child is still part of my family, so how can it be lonely if my child is right there? Okay, and then on top of that, I knew that things may be harder, so I had to gear myself up. I am one who really enjoys the idea of anticipation. It doesn't bring me so much anxiety like a lot of people, like anticipating for something to come. I embrace challenges because long ago I've learned that the hardest thing in this life is going to be the hard things. So start to learn to embrace hard things, because listen, they are inevitable, they will come. And I know I want to be very successful in my life, so I know for a fact they're going to come. Because life is not easy, and nothing in life that aligns with what you really want out of it, nothing comes easy. And if you, whoever's watching this, think that things should come easy, baby, you might be stressed for life. Things are never going to come easy. Ever since that apple was bitten and we realized that we have knowledge of good and bad, baby, things are not going to be easy. I'm sorry. I also wanted to tell you guys the products that I use. Since I have to be mindful of my spending because I am not making consistent income, so I mix a lot of high and low. So my primer is this e.l.f. primer. I like it. I use House Labs foundation, And now I'm using Kylie Cosmetics concealer, which I love. It came by surprise to me. I had to get it when I was in Europe. I was at the Paris airport, because you know they're not gonna have no black brands. And you know what? I was like, oh, old girl is good. I ain't gonna lie to you. She's good. But anyway, so you have to really be self-aware when it comes to managing your stress. You have to know what triggers you, what ticks you off, what the capacity within your days feel like or look like. You need to know, what do you need to feel fulfilled? How much time in a day do you need to feel like you can think, you can manage everything around you? So personally for me, I realized that if I work out, and I think I mentioned this before, if I work out and I just get a little bit of time to myself every day, I am fine. I mean, I can run on 30 hours as long as I get a good hour and a half when I'm working out. I'm in silence, I can pray, and I can write. And I start my day like that, I can handle anything after that. So I made a goal when school started in August. I said, you know what? Not just because you want to lose weight, but because you want to be a very happy mom, or just a mom who can manage the stressors of being in school and doing motherhood on your own, okay? You need to wake up at 5 a.m. Now, granted, I ain't gonna lie to you, I am a morning person. A lot of people are not. But I'm gonna tell you something. If I wasn't a morning person, with my personality, I would become one. If me waking up early meant that I can show up better for my child, then yeah, I'm gonna wake up early. You ain't even gotta ask me twice at all. I'm gonna wake up early. And so that helps. On top of that, I also know that certain foods, dopamine feels good initially, and I talked about this on TikTok. It feels good initially, but over time it makes you feel terrible, okay? You may feel good when you hop on TikTok and see a good video, but once you realize that you're there for 3 hours and you wasted 3 hours on TikTok, you feel terrible. Like, what did I just do? So for me, the dopamine that I usually obsess over is obviously sugar. I love pastries, I love sweets, all of that. So I also told myself, starting August when school started, you also have to have a better relationship with food, sweetheart. You want to show up for your son, you want to show up for yourself. You cannot be sitting here trying to stuff 3 pastries or 3 guava croissants before 11 a.m. in your body, because you know you're going to be sluggish. You know you're going to feel like, oh, I ate 3 croissants, now I'm full, but you really don't have no nutrients in your body. Now what are you moving off of? What is your metabolism looking like? What time are you going to sleep at night because you really didn't properly eat? You ate something, but now you're cranky because you actually need real food. Accountability. And you know, managing stress for me really, it takes a lot of accountability. I need to know when I don't feel well, when I have to give my body rest. I need to know that if I need to finish 8 assignments today, I need to have that time blocked. I can't be on the phone with friends. I can't be on the phone with my mom. I can't, you know, spend time watching shows that I want to catch up on. I have to hold myself accountable. And I'm learning that accountability is very hard for a lot of people. It really is. Parker, can we not? No. Go finish watching your so. Give me a second. Being a mom. Mommy. So being self-aware and holding yourself accountable, yes, it will help you manage your stress way better. Like even now, I like to be home on the weekends, okay? By the way, that I just used was House Labs concealer. I like to be home on the weekends because my son just needs to be home. I'm also trying to really be intentional about the time I spend with him, and obviously weekends is the time I spend the most, because during the weeks I'm in school, he's in school. We really only see each other maybe 3 hours out of the day during the week, okay? So I like to be home, I like to reset, I like to relax, I like to just not have anything to do. So I told myself I can't keep committing to outside activities on the weekend, because if I do, then I won't really have no time to catch up, because I'm still doing activity on the weekend. I had to hold myself accountable. I'm doing what I'm doing today because I love being at a vineyard, and it's my best friend's birthday. I made an exception, but this is not something I could do every weekend. I would be drained, I would be exhausted, and it took me a year to realize that, because every weekend last year I was outside doing schoolwork, and I was working part-time, being a mom and going outside on the weekends. I was exhausted. I mean, every single week it would start over and I would just be tired, eating like crazy, not exercising, because I never gave my body enough time to reset. You have to be aware enough to realize that. Okay, now that we're over that, what else helps with stress? Time management. Great segue, because we're talking about the weekends. Time management. I had to learn time management because I worked for a very long time in legal, okay? And you have to have boundaries when working in legal, if you have that opportunity to, if you even have the option to have a boundary when working in legal. I was a paralegal though, and my last job, they encouraged, you know, just having those type of boundaries where you only do your work at work, you do not bring it home. So I got used to really creating boundaries within myself and just time blocking. Time blocking helps me. You have to block out time for things you want to get done. If you do not block out time, don't even consider it done. If it is not in your calendar, it will never get in your calendar, okay? Because if it's not in your calendar and you don't block out time, you don't think it's important enough to commit to it. And if you don't think it's important enough to commit to it, guess what? You're going to do any and everything that you can do to not do it. Let me show you guys my calendar. I don't know if you're going to really see it well, but my Google Calendar from Monday through Friday is stacked. And you know, I mentioned this before, but you know how it helps me? Because whenever I'm in a moment and I think I have free time and I'm like, what can I do right now? The calendar is so stacked that I already know what I can do. I don't even have to spend more than 10 seconds trying to figure out what I can do right now. And I'm gonna show you my calendar a little bit if you can see it. I told you, I'm not lying. It is stacked. Now, what this means is everything. It includes my classes, the time I need to wake up to work out, what subjects I need to study, what assignments I can be doing. Then it cuts off at 6 o'clock, which is the latest time I could get Parker from him from after school. His bedtime is at 8. Between 6 and 8, I do not touch my phone. I'm lying. I may scroll a little bit, but I am very intentional with the time at home, meaning I want the dinner to already be cooked. Them 2 hours, I do not want to have to cook. I do not want to have to do any assignments. I do not do homework when my son is home. I get 2 hours with my baby. And really at 7:30, he's in the tub. So I really get like an hour and a half with him where we can do things. And now I've later incorporated, sorry, that setting powder is one size, which I love. I love one size setting powder. And now we've incorporated doing activities together. So when he gets home, he already has a routine. If he wants to go to the park, we'll go to the park. But he knows this is mommy and me time. And that makes me feel better as a mom. Okay, so I'm not constantly telling myself every day like, Dad, I wish I would have spent more time with my son. No, I already know I get 2 hours every single day that I can spend with my son, and then obviously weekends, 2 intentional hours. Make sure I have activities ready to do with him. We do puzzles, we color. By the way, he does not have screen time during the week. He only has screen time on the weekends, and even now I'm trying to minimize that. No screen time. So 6 to 8 is really just me and him face to face. Okay, puzzles, color. If I do have to cook, he comes in the kitchen with me. He likes to build blocks. We work on that. We work on pronunciations because like I told you, he has speech delay. We're working on a lot of stuff. It makes me feel good because I already know I have 2 hours every day that I dedicate to my son. You know why I have those 2 hours every day? It's in my calendar. You call me between 6 to 8, it will not be picked up. I will not answer that call. My friends will tell you. I've changed though. I was not like this last year. You got to start to learn yourself, have that self-awareness, understand what you need, what is going to help you get to where you want to be, okay? But it helps me manage my stress because now I'm not stressing over the fact that I think that I'm a bad mom because I haven't made time for my child. Don't let the world sit here and trick you and think that you have to be extra busy. That is your choice. Yes, you may lose a job if you can't spend time, but at the end of the day, that's still your choice. I'm sorry. It is your choice. Don't let me tell it. I'll be the one to tell. When Kanye said slaves made that decision, I understood where he was coming from. It was a little too harsh when he said it, but I understood it because we always have a choice. Do we often choose the one that we think makes us survive? We do. But you don't have to be in survival mode. That's a mental. And it goes down to stress. I'm telling you guys. You just have to choose what you want, not what you think fits what you need right now. Does it align with what you truly want? Okay, so now that we got the calendar out the way, that my last thing I would say to you when it comes to managing stress is also managing your expectations. Okay, it kind of is wrapped around like having SMART goals, you know? Like when you make SMART goals, they're supposed to be specific, measurable. We talk about the action you want to take, timely, and they have to be realistic. Those are your SMART goals. When you're discovering your SMART goals, you don't sit here and you don't want to create something that's unrealistic. So don't sit here and say, I want to lose, they say it all the time, don't sit here and say, I want to lose 30 pounds in a month. You're already stressing. You setting yourself up to be stressed. You know what you have to do to lose 30 pounds in a month? Be for real, okay? We're not doing that. We're not doing that. If you want to manage your stress, be realistic with your expectations. And it's all going to tie into managing your time, having self-awareness, knowing your needs. These things are what matter when it comes to stress. But first and foremost, I'm going to also remind you, like what I said in the beginning, your faith cannot waver. And it doesn't have to be with God. It can be your faith in yourself. If you know by the end of next year, you want to do one thing, you cannot let one small hiccup and inconvenience make you believe that that thing cannot happen. Your faith cannot waver. They call it trials and tribulations for a reason. They are inevitable. Things are going to pop up that are outside of your control. Stop trying to control everything. Just do what you can do. Do what you know you can show up for. Do what you know you set yourself up for. Put it in your calendar. Make time for things that matter to you. Okay? But I'm going to be very candid. I just wanted to let you guys know why stress doesn't really bother me. And this is why. I don't get stressed. And part of not getting stressed is, again, having self-awareness. I know what will stress me out. So I curate my days and my life to avoid getting into my stress mode. It really is that simple. It's a lot in the mind. It's a lot with planning and execution. It's a lot with being honest with yourself, being aware of what you need, holding yourself accountable when you may slack, giving yourself grace, and not wavering. Okay? It works for me. Might not work for everybody. It works for me. And my mom, we had a conversation this week. And she told me, like, you don't ever get stressed. She's very stressed, she says. And it made me upset because I just feel like if you saw my mom outside looking in, you would say that she's privileged. Not in a way like grew up with privilege, no, but in the place she's in with her life right now, she's privileged. You know, you have 3 children you don't have to worry about. That's one to say. There's a lot of parents out there that have to worry about their children. You know, that really have to probably provide for their kids. They have to make sure they have a roof over their head for whatever odd reason that the child just can't sustain their own life, or they have to just worry. My mom's retired. Not to say all her business, but I just got into a conversation with her and she was like, I am so stressed, you know, like, and I just asked her, like, why? Sometimes the stress is because you don't release it. You're not releasing the stress. Who are you talking to about your stress? That's another thing I'm very good about. The moment something bothering me, I'm calling somebody and I'm sorry, I'm dumping. I am extremely dumping. And let me make it clear, when I say dumping, I mean I am also asking for the space for someone to hear me out. I am not just emotionally dumping everything that is going on, but I am being conscious of how I am conveying my feelings and my experience in a space that I was given by asking for said space, okay?
You guys have to remember, you have to ask people if they can have space to hold for you in order for you to be able to dump.
And I'm dumping because the more I talk about it, the easier it is to get out my head. I'm not one to care about who knows my business. I don't care. If God knows my business, then the whole world knows my business. I don't care about who knows my business because it's really not that sacred. Truth be told, you get on the internet, don't you get happy to see people who are going through the exact same thing you're going through? What you are going through is not unique to anyone else. I don't care who knows my business. It's never that deep. I've always been vocal about how I feel. So yes, I talk about what may be overwhelming to me in the moment. I do give myself time to process my emotions and my feelings, but I am comfortable with talking about what I'm going through because I don't want it to be harbored in my body, and then my subconscious is keeping all of these emotions, and now I'm later stressed and having a stroke or a heart attack. Because little did y'all know that's how all that stuff happens. Okay, I release it. You have to release the stress. Maybe go for a run. Shoot, give yourself an exception and have a bottle of wine, honey. Release the stress, write it out. Find a hobby. I started skating, I told y'all. Go skate. Go walk. Y'all know I walk like 6 miles a day. But specifically when it comes to managing my stress as a mother, a single mom who is in grad school, I think my biggest takeaways is just creating a schedule, being realistic, and being mindful of how you talk to yourself. And it works. I'm just so proud of myself all the time and how I handle and I manage everything. But I would tell you one thing, after doing it and just freestyling last year, because I said I want to know what it feels like to do this for the first time. So I'm just going to go in, head in with no plan. I had like no plan. And then I was able to observe myself, see for the year what I liked that I did, what I didn't like, what I need to alter for this year, change up, what I should commit to, what would help me. And I made the changes. No excuses. I am also a person that does not give myself excuses. I'm sorry. As y'all would know, like, why would I sign up for grad school as a single parent and not work? Like, I don't give myself excuses. I'm delusional. I think everything will work out. If I want it to work out, it's going to work out. No questions asked. The only person that's going to stop me is God. But since me and him are like this, it ain't getting stopped, sweetheart. I also don't really consume a lot of what's going on in the world because I think naturally, when you take the time out to hear the news and everything that's going on, you will feel some levels of, you know, depression. So I don't really consume all of that. I stay away from it. I'm trying hard not to be on social media as much, but you know, that's just some tips, guys. Those are my tips for managing stress while being a student and a single mom. I know it's more so, it's not like tangible things, it's more like just really spiritual and self-help and guidance, but trust me, it works. Stop believing that you have to have a handle on everything that's going on in your life. Understand that what you have to just know how to manage it. You have to be realistic, and that is it. That is just truly it. You know, this is the one size setting spray because I put a lot of powder on my face, so it kind of just made me look a little crazy. I honestly have just been doing makeup just to let this video go because I don't know, it's sad because now I done forgot what I was doing the damn makeup for, but we're gonna get back. I'm just gonna bring this back with some every time I do my makeup on here, I be looking crazy. I promise y'all though, I'm gonna give y'all a picture of the finished look. Usually the picture is the thumbnail. It be coming together. I just be playing, and I be playing in makeup. I just be playing in it. Don't even be having a goal for real. Just be sitting here like, oh, let me put this on my face. Wasting product. Like, girl, you in grad school, ain't no product we gonna be wasting her. No sir. But I hope that what I told you guys was helpful. I think that if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. But just remember, everything everything starts in the mind. And it's so unfortunate because we know that, but we still allow our mind to play with us. We still overthink things. I believe that right now where I'm at, I am the happiest I've ever been. And I am also the most challenged I've ever been in terms of everything that I'm handling right now. But I am really so happy. I cannot be humble about that. I am so happy. I am so blessed. And if you looked at my life outside looking in, you would think like I have every reason to be stressed, and I'm just not. And I too am very proud about that. Don't think that this is something that is easily attained for me. Like, I'm so happy that in the space that I'm in right now, I can mentally handle it. I can physically and emotionally manage it. That I'm proud about it every day. I'm filled with so much gratitude that I've held hands with God so tightly that the moment I feel something, whatever I'm feeling, I just got to do this. And it feels like everything that's negative that I'm feeling or positive I'm feeling, God feels it too, and he handles it for me. I promise you. It could be like, dang, I really need some type of money to come in, and I always get it. I'm like, where's this coming from? And I leave it up to God. I pray every day and I tell him exactly what I want. Don't be shy about prayer either. I be telling God, like, listen, unless man you bring to the next man you bring to me, God, I swear he better be rich. And if he not, I'm not entertaining him. He better be generous. He better be God-fearing. He better know how to cook, all of that. If he's not, I'm not entertaining him, God. And I'm going to know for sure he's not from you, because I know what I asked you for. And you always give me what I asked you for. I'll be praying to God one day like, God, I just really need like 500. And I'm not going to lie to you. I just want some new makeup and new perfume so I could feel good. Can you feel me on that? Can I get it like this week? Friday, it's a $700 check in my mailbox talking about some, oh, this was reimbursed to you for something that happened 3 years ago. God, you quick. That's how you gotta be. That is how you gotta be. But you have to believe it. When I pray to God, I believe that everything I'm praying for, I'm going to get. I don't think twice about it. I don't think twice about it. I already know he's gonna hook me up. Like, for a facty. And like I said, I love that that's the season I'm in. I really do. This mascara is, maybe it's Maybelline. See, I told you I'll be doing the high and low. Got this straight from the drugstore, and I love it. It's the purple box. It's called the Falsies Surreal, and it be having my lashes pop. But I am going to put on some Falsies today because, yeah, that's just what your girl is doing. I really don't want to hang up with y'all, but bye, because I also need to charge my camera so I can take a video while I'm out here, and I could probably vlog. So, bye, you guys. I'll send y'all the finished look. It'll be in a thumbnail. Maybe I'll take a picture after this and just add it to the video, okay? Y'all have a good day. Bye. This is what I'm gonna wear to the vineyard. Everything is from the Gap except for the shirt, which is from Zara. If you haven't known, you already know. I'm such a big Gap girl. Makeup came out good. Wish I had a different lip, but I just need whatever. Yeah, this is it. See y'all later. Bye. Thanks for stopping by the office. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.